One of the things that I've grown to love about watching the Pacers play is the ways that Rick Carlisle and the Pacers try to get Pascal Siakam the ball. They're creative. They do it through early offense, through post touches, through throwing him into the corner three and just giving him screens or giving him ways to receive the ball for an open shot. And sometimes it's simple spacing reads, but overall they have a toolbox of different ways that they want their best player to touch the ball. Now they went away from it in the fourth quarter in game 4. I'm looking for them to do a little bit more of it in game 5 to be successful. I pulled 6 clips from game 4 that just shows how versatile and intentional Indiana is about getting Siakam the ball in many of their games. So Indiana wants to get Pascal Siakam involved early and often. Out of this, they're going to start with this angle screen that is going to set for Nembhard. You're either going to try to get some sort of switch or just give him space to be able to attack towards that corner right there. Especially OKC going to be aggressive a little bit more to start this game as well. Put Hartenstein a little bit out farther away from the basket. So when you're setting this angle screen from Siakam, and he's able to roll out of it, and it gets Hartenstein away from the basket. So you do that, you end up getting this switch that you want. You got Shea on Siakam. You got Hartenstein switched right there too. So Siakam's going to roll to the basket. They're going to end up getting a little high-low look out of this, where Siakam's just going to seal inside right here, and this should be a little bit more of a help right there, but he's going to be able to seal inside, and it's just a basic high-low look. Early, love it. Now, Siakam doesn't have to be involved in every single action down the floor for them. He's able to do some other things out of this corner spacing that he has right here. He has Hartenstein again on him in the corner. You got Turner setting this middle pick and roll with Nembhard right here, and you got Siakam spaced opposite out of this. Now, a lot of teams, you're going to set this pick and roll. If you attack out of that right there, a lot of teams are going to lift this guy from the corner to play out of that. But instead, they're going to say, let's just keep him. Let's just let him space towards that corner. If Chet shows a little bit too high out of that, we're able to get it to Turner. Then help has to come from Hartenstein, otherwise they give up a dunk, and that allows Siakam to be wide open corner, and he's really developed that corner 3 ball, even though he misses it right there. The ability of him to knock down that corner 3 ball is really big for Indiana. You get out and run a little bit. They do like to run this empty side pick and roll, and it really depends on who's in the game, but also, you know, kind of where Turner or Siakam is on the floor. You do have this empty corner, so there's nobody in this corner right here. And then you got Siakam able to come right here and set this pick and roll for McConnell. You got 3 shooters on the backside right here. So you're really trying to get McConnell to turn the corner out of that. Maybe you're trying to get a switch if you're Indiana. I don't know. But you got some nail help coming here from Chet on this side as well. So they get the switch that they like. And when you're in transition, it's a little bit tougher to match up how you want to match up. Maybe typically you would want Chet actually matched up on Siakam instead of Obi Toppin. Maybe you'd be okay with Caruso trying to match up on Siakam. But when you're in transition and you're only 6 seconds into a possession, it's tough for everybody to match up exactly how you want them to match up, especially when Indiana's pushing the pace like they are. So you get the switch that you want. They end up flipping it to Toppin and allowing him to try to attack out of this. But then Siakam's just going to post. He has the space to be able to attack out of this because OKC's playing hard and aggressive, and he finishes. Again, not the best matchup for OKC, but that's going to happen when you play with a little bit more pace like Indiana does. This is their zipper look where they're just going to call it zip swing. Saw Tyrese Halliburton screaming this out from the sideline in the game, where they're going to false give this zipper look for Nembhard to come to the top of the screen. But instead of doing that, they're going to make it look like they're doing it, try to get the attention of the defense over on this side of the floor. And instead, they're just going to put Siakam on an island right here by himself, get this away action right here so Hartenstein can't actually help, and then just allow Siakam to be on an island with a matchup that he likes and let him go to work. So again, a lot of different creative ways. They're going to move Siakam all over the court. He doesn't have to bang down low. He doesn't have to just bring the ball up the floor, but they are okay with him bringing the ball up the floor every once in a while. Got 2 more to show you. OKC did a much better job second half on Siakam. He wasn't really able to get as many looks as he was in the first half. Just did a better job helping, identifying him in transition. they're going to get into this zoom look for Neesmith out of this, and then space 2 guys opposite. You got Nembhard, you got Siakam. This is just a basic thing that Indiana does because they like that corner 3 ball for Siakam, is on this, if you have this middle pick and roll and you try to attack a gap right here, a lot of teams will cut this guy through, or they'll cut the corner guy through and slide Neesmith to the corner. So they'll cut Siakam through and they'll slide Neesmith to the corner. A lot of teams do one of those 2 variations, but instead they're going to cut Nembhard through, and he's going to set this screen on Hartenstein right here. So the help still has to come from right here, but if you're going to attack this way and Hartenstein's not able to fight through, you got to open 3 ball in the corner for Siakam. So here comes Halliburton. He gets a handoff. Kicks it to the corner. Doesn't knock it down, but again, a nice open 3 ball look for Siakam. And OKC stayed home on him for the most part. Final look I'm going to give you. And notice where it's at. It's in the end of the 3rd quarter. Kind of gives you a little bit of an illusion of how the 4th quarter ended up going for Indiana. Siakam wasn't able to get the looks that he really wanted to in the 4th quarter. OKC took a lot of his stuff away, and Tyrese Halliburton tried to be the guy. So they'll put him at the point guard spot a little bit too, and they'll operate with a flat pick and roll, right? Butt to the sideline with a guy space corner, dunker, corner. Notice Turner's not in the dunker, though. They're going to put Nembhard in the corner. They're hoping that this flat pick and roll either initiates a switch or he opens his hips too much to where you can attack downhill and your help guy is Cason Wallace rather than a Chet Holmgren, okay? So they'll wait for the clock to go down. Turns his hips how they want him to. Siakam's big. He's able to get downhill, so you don't really even need to set this pick. You'll space out of it. You get downhill. You help. It's a kick to the corner. When no help comes, you can throw it up, and he gets fouled. So a lot of different ways Indiana's going to get looks for Siakam. I want to see them continue to do so in Game 5. They did a lot of this in Game 4. Got away from it in the 4th quarter. But I think the more that they can get Siakam involved and allow guys to be shooters outside of the game for 0-4-3, I think they're going to be successful moving forward.